And I guess there are certain pitfalls, aren't there, in communication and listening. I remember you guys previously, it stuck with me, and I've heard it in other contexts around listening. A classic trap is the kind of problem solver pitfall. And I guess there are other things like that, aren't there, in terms of then helping people who are listening to this podcast think about, how do I respond to someone who's trying to tell me how they feel? And I guess there are certain pitfalls to avoid. Being advice giving or problem solving, or assuming you know what that person's feeling and cutting themselves. I know how you feel, I've been there too.
Autobiographing it. I'm really good at that. Someone says something to me and say, oh yes, that happened to me. But the autobiographer.
Funnily enough, Lyn, I'm very good at problem solving, which might be why Rich has mentioned it. What do I do about this really annoying person in my life who every time I talk to her, she just wants to solve my problems? Who could it be?
We've all got bad listening skills, but the important thing is to recognise what your bad listening skill is. And if anybody wants to, there's 5 of them. I don't want to go into them all now because it'd take too long, but I certainly put them out there, write them out somewhere so that people could look at them and just think, oh, which one's me? And you might think, oh, I'm both of those. And so with your listening skills, it's really important to know what you're good at and what you're not good at.
The important thing to remember with listening skills is it's actually listening, it's not talking.
It's
not going, oh yeah, it's
not interrupting.
Not interrupting.
So are there any other particular things then that you would be particularly pointing people to at this time of lockdown that you would say are good habits to have? So you've mentioned communication, feelings, to connect with people beyond your circumstance. Any other habits that you particularly think are important for people right now?
Before the lockdown, people they did things sort of routinely. You got up, had your breakfast, went to work, came home, had your tea, watched the telly, went to bed. So I think it's quite important to have some sort of routine. Obviously, it's different from what it would be, normally. If you're not going to work, then you don't go to work. But have something else to do, not necessarily together as well. I think it's important to have your own space.
And that's our second point. Point 2 is about space. And talking over you, sorry, but it is really important.
No change there, darling.
No change there. Give each other space, and don't do everything together. I mean, Mike will. Mike often, he's been doing quite a lot of work in the garage. And I've been doing a lot of work out in the garden, and then we meet up for perhaps coffee, lunch and supper and things. But it's really important to whoever you're in the household with to give each other space and to do things together, but do a lot of things separately as well. And if you haven't got a garage or a garden or somewhere you can escape to, we know a couple who have allocated rooms. So today, so-and-so is going to have the lounge, and so-and-so else is going to have the back bedroom, and someone else is going to have the office, so that you can get away from each other and have that allocated space. That is your space. And watch different TV programs, listen to different podcasts, because then when you do come together, you've got something to talk about as well, because you find that if you've been in the house all day with each other, what have you been doing? Oh yeah, I know what you've been doing.
I did it with you.
It's just like, okay.
Lyn, can I ask a question? In terms of like topics of conversation, I guess one of the things that's on my mind, just because of some couples that we know relating to at the moment, that in the absence of other conversation of the kind of, oh, this is what I did today type, it can potentially revert to the big conversations, the kind of the thing that's been brewing for a while, that's a really serious issue possibly in a relationship. And I'm just wondering what you think about that, because some of the advice that I've seen has suggested, I mean, so the Relate website is suggesting to people, just put those conversations off, put them aside, call a truce, however you want to describe it, and choose your battles, kind of thing. But I'm just wondering how you feel about that. My personal instinct is that putting any big conversation like that off just causes more tension and strain in a relationship. But I wondered what you thought about that. If, you know, in this kind of void of stuff to talk about, if you're not going to talk about coronavirus until you're blue in the face, do you then end up talking about the major issues and raking stuff up in a situation where you can't get away from each other?
Yeah, personally, I think it is better to talk rather than just bury it down and leave it, because how long do we know that we're going to be in this situation? It depends on the individuals concerned and the topic. But what I would say is, wait, don't bring it up, you know, at breakfast or during the day. You know, pick a time and just say, look, tomorrow evening, you know, let's have a glass of wine, or, you know, have a meal or something, and let's just sit down and do some listening. And, you know, it's, if you've got good listening skills, good communication skills, then you can sit and listen to each other and reflect back and find out where you both are, and just move a bit closer. It's just that apple and the banana thing. I don't know if you've, you know, again, we can put this in writing somewhere.
Oh, Rich says that to me.
Banana.
Yeah, Rich says that to me at the worst moment in every argument. He says, I think we really should get our bananas around the apple. And I'm like, screw your apple.
Sorry, Laura.
You know, it's fine. It's great. It's really, really helpful.
It is a helpful tool for most people. But it is important to choose your time when you're going to discuss big things. That's really, really important, and not do it.
And you have to agree to not take offence at
point number 3.
Oh yeah. I've just seen that. Lyn wrote that down. I hadn't even seen her notes. Agree to not take offence at what the other people are saying, but again, try to understand their point of view.
And this was really funny, because when we were talking about doing this, and I said, you know, one of the things that is recommended is that you know, we don't take offence of each other. And I said to Mike, you know, right at the beginning of this time, lockdown, I decided that I was going to let things go. You know, if there was little things that were annoying me, you know, things do annoy me about him, and, you know, and I was just going to think, you know, sometimes
understand why that is.
I was just going to let it go. And he laughed like a drain. He said, you know, he said, that's the very thing I thought of on the first day as well, that, you know, anything that she does that is annoying or irritating, if it's not important, I'm just going to let it go. And that's been really great. We've really noticed a difference in that, because when you're around each other all the time, so it's about choosing, like Laura, you said earlier about choosing your battles. It's choosing not to take offence, and practicing forgiveness if you do. Like Mike did apologise for getting paint all over. No, what was it you put on permanent marker? This is Carl Stroll's fault. Putting permanent marker all over his face.
Apologise for getting permanent marker all over the new duvet.
So he did apologise. So so it's about and I could have, you know, gone, oh, you shouldn't have.
She could have gone on about it for a long time.
I could have done, but it didn't. You know, it's not worth it. So
and it was interesting the other day that we were talking about this, and we both said that there were times when, you know, something had happened and we thought, I could say something, and we thought, no, it's not going to be worth it, because it would just cause, you know, the other person to feel bad, and there's no point in that. So just leave it. Don't say anything. And within minutes, you've forgotten about it, because it's really not important, you know. But you know, obviously, it takes a bit of skill, really, and practice to do that, to understand, you know, what is going to cause offence, and whether you can, you know, just let it go or not. There might be some things which you can't let go.
But the
for,
little
like,
things,
you know, not putting the toothpaste chewed back together properly or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's still is a
It's
really
all pants in it, you know.
Yeah.
It's
So,
just-
and it's like with the,
You know,
if
why haven't you locked the door again this evening? You know, but it doesn't matter. You know,
Yeah.
I'll just lock it.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's like with you when if you've got youngsters around you, you know, there's some things that just you know, pick your battles. You know, is it worth really going on about a certain thing? Just, you know, so decide not to take offence. Pick your battles out and practice forgiveness.
Yeah.
Important.
And also there was the thing we said about giving each other space and doing stuff apart, but I think it's still important to do things together.
Date nights.
Date nights. We've had date nights in. It's been great.
Yeah.
That's important in any relationship, isn't it? That
Absolutely. Yeah.
other friends, I'm aware I've got some friends on the other side of the country, and I'm thinking, actually, I could just do with having a bit of fun with them and just, you know, getting in touch and not having some heavy conversation, but just saying, are you around for half an hour? Just hang out and do something stupid together online?
Yeah.
And like that.
Yeah.
Yes, in any relationship here, whether it's marriage or a friendship or relatives, whether you're at home or you're apart, there's something about just making time for fun at this time.
Absolutely. That's one of our points as well, about having fun, whether it's spontaneous or planned. And you know, we're very social animals, and we've got lots of friends, and we love going out and always doing things. And so it could be quite tricky, but you know, we've kept in contact with our friends. That's why we've got zoomed out, but we do a lot of zooming with our friends. But we do things like theatre night. Now, we just love theatre night, organised by Carl. He's been great. Organises our theatre night. We all we meet together at 6:30 for pre-show drinks, and dress up accordingly. Like Mike dressed as Frankenstein's monster last night.
Malvolio last week.
Malvolio last week for 12th night. He dressed up as some pirate for Treasure Island.
Oh yeah, pirates.
Anyway, we meet for pre-show drinks, watch the theatre, then we meet up again at the end for after-show drinks, and just discuss and talk about, review the play we've just seen, and it's just such fun. It's good. Really look forward to it. Yeah, and you can have quiz nights. We've done quiz nights and with family and friends and things.
Yeah.
And also about having fun. It's also about getting dressed up anyway. Sometimes even if you're not going to see anybody, just get dressed up. Don't stay in your jammies all day. I mean, you can some days, but you know, get dressed up. Put your heels on. Yeah. Well, Mike looks great in heels, but you know, I
do.
All the time,
I like a Cuban heel myself.
Yeah.
I have a proud lockdown record. I am yet to have a whole day in pajamas.
Oh, well done.
No, well done.
Yeah.
I've got dressed most days by kind of Saturday. I'll be pretty lazy. Saturday maybe 10.
Yeah.
Steady.
Steady, Rich.
Yeah. But no. The other thing, just going to mention that.
Yeah,
the other thing is exercise. It's really, really, really important that you do something.
You get out for your daily walk.
That you get out for your daily walk, or you know, or you like we do. Lyn does Pilates online
3 times a week.
3 times a week, and we both do.
Sorry, you know what I'm gonna say. We do Joe Wicks.
Joe Wicks in the morning.
We do Joe Wicks.
Yeah.
Even Fancy Dress Friday.
and you know, it's
stop laughing, Ian.
It's,
Why would anyone do that to themselves?
It's such fun.
Well, it's fun and you feel better.
Yeah, you do
Joe himself.
No, if you do your back in.
Yes, actually, you did do your calf in.
Yeah, you don't have to do it all. And he says that. He says, you just do what you can, and don't do it to make yourself look good. Do it for how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
And I guarantee it does make.
And the millions of pounds I'm going to make out of it. Also.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Joe Wicks gives us all the money to NHS charities.
It's great. I don't care how much money he makes. He makes me, you know, doing what his little exercise thing in the morning. It's only half an hour. Makes me feel better. Sets me up for the day. and also it's routine. Like we were saying earlier on, you have to have some sort of routine. It means I got to get up, and I think, oh no, I've got to get up and do Joe Wicks again. But I get up and I do it, and then I'm up for the day, and I go and do the things I need to do for the day.